So here we're back again. This is the newbie's guide to trimming your sail. So imagine the wind's coming straight down. And we're looking at this kite. So instead of thinking of it being 4 lines, think of it being your 2 steering lines. And then imagine there's just one line that goes through the bar and hooks up to your harness. So that's really the majority of the load is going to be right through this. And then you're going to be trimming the length of this line to set the angle of attack on the sail. So what will end up happening is if it's neutral, you'll be filling up the trailing edge. It'll go from fluttering to just powered up when you sheet in. If you release the trim line, let it out, what you in essence do is change the angle of the tack of the sail. So letting the line out makes the leading edge go up. And when it does that, it catches more wind. So I'm going to show that from basically a net neutral spot to this is letting the line out. So letting the line out, lengthening the line, changes the angle of the tack. So it's out, it's in, I'm trimmed in, I'm trimmed out. So you can use this to a certain degree. If it starts to get underpowered, you can release that to get more power in the sail, or at least more drag in the sail. You can do this too much, and if you do this too much, it'll start to backstall and fall backwards. Same thing can happen is if you oversheet, you pull it in, or you over trim, you pull this line in, you can see that the kite starts to pull forward. In this position, when it starts to pull forward, you can actually start to oversteer, and when you're in the water, it'll shoot over your head. So you don't want that either. So you want it in a position where it's pretty much net neutral, and then you're getting in a range that is comfortable to be able to shoot in and pull in the trailing edge on either side to steer. I like this to be about armpit level, where I'm feeling it's a good spot where I can sheet it in and effectively pull in the back lines to steer. It keeps this one at a relatively same length the whole time. So if you're finding yourself having to depower, pulling the line in, you're really kind of screwing up the aerodynamics of that sail. So yeah, you are capturing less air, but you're very much decreasing the efficiency of the sail. So if you find yourself in this situation, you really need to get a different size sail. Same thing if you are having to let the line out to kind of try to capture more air, you're in effect also going to get to a point where you're stalling the sail, and the sail will start to fall backwards out of the sky. You don't want this either. So you really want to pick your sail where it'll be efficient in the air, and then trim it. I trim it on the beach so that when I look overhead, it's basically goes from being fluttery on the trailing edge to just starting to fill the sail up and feel you feel the power. And I do that when I've pulled it in about armpit level. Other people have different ideas on this, but get it right on the beach before you go out, and then you'll be in much better shape when you're on the water.